Hi, so today's vlog we're going to be painting a Martian. No, not just any Martian. It's going to be Mars Attacks. Now I've just sketched out a little drawing just to start off with, and I'm going to just use that as a guide really, and I'm going to paint directly on canvas just the head and colour it up. Now the main problems that I'm having with drawing the head is just that brain section. I haven't really drawn much brains before, so painting it will be slightly easier because it'll be like swirls and things like that, but I still have to get it looking like a brain. Anyway, let's get on with this painting. So I've got a round brush, quite a large one, just to add a bit more paint. Just going to wet the brush slightly, and I've got some burnt umber oil paint. And I'm just going to redo the eyes down here. And we've got the skull-like nose there. Once I've got the main outline, I'll probably switch to a time lapse and talk through what I'm doing. So yeah, there's the brain section there. Just thin that down slightly. So whenever you got like a dry brush, just thin it down with the spirit or whatever you're using to thin your paint down. I just use white spirit because it's cheap, even though it's got a strong smell to it. You can get odorless ones, but I'm not too fussed. I like the smell actually. Just got to work out them cheekbones. And the teeth. Got enough room on the top just to draw the glass case like helmet, so you know, even though I think that needed to be more rounded, but just about getting the lines roughly right before just thin that down. Got the teeth side. Usually like these brown colours are a good underpainting colour to do. And then got the other bottom bit of the helmet. You know, at this stage it won't exactly look sort of exactly how you want it, but you can change things as you're going along. And that'll probably go around the back as well. then you'd have the helmet there, but I'll just do lines just going upwards, and we can sort that out last. Like a circle sort of thing with it's almost like, I think it's the talking device, I think. Something like that. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. Let's see. Circles at the side. Like little lights. Draw like the shoulder bits in. Just thin that off slightly because it's a bit dry. Don't really want it to be a strong colour really, because I'll be painting over it anyway. And try and work out other bits like this. It's like a big ridge or a big rim thing around the base of this helmet, which will go there. So really I'm just planning this painting out. Quite ambitious because I've never tackled anything like this before. Not as detailed as these Martians, but should be fun. Got to challenge myself, and you know, if you paint or you draw, you've got to challenge yourself as well. New ways of doing things and all that. That sort of ends there. Straighten that off another time. Another circly bit there. Just little bits of details. Now this brain, I did say it was like loads of swirls and stuff. Can make a start on it now. It won't exactly be perfect, but I can refine that later on. Some more paint there, thin it off. It's looking slightly like a brain. You always come back to it anyway, so there's no worrying about it. And just see how it goes. Right, now I've got some of the darker tones that I wanted to just lay in there. I just wanted to add some like yellow ochre, which is like a lighter yellowy brown. This will just help show where some of the little highlights that I want to add. Just thin that down. So obviously, like, the face of the Martian is green, but I want some extra highlights just as little markers to remind me where to put certain areas. I'll really thin all that down. and lighten them teeth as well. And they all need to be straightened as well, like perfect looking teeth. Not like proper skull-like teeth, they're more straightened. But I can do that later on. So now that these bits need to be highlighted, and when I go over the greens, I know that these areas need to be lighter than the rest. Be a few little highlights here and there. Still at the underpainting stage, it always looks a bit teared, you know, any painting does, but you try and bring it back. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just switch to a time lapse and see how far I can get with this. So here I am, just adding some green colour to the Martian's face. I'm trying to work out the colours a lot more, adding like light green and then trying to keep them highlighted areas that I've done yellow, but I'll probably paint over them, but just to get the highlighted areas. Still sort of new to oil painting and, you know, things like that, still learning. Done one eye a bit bigger than the other, but we'll try and work that out and shrink it slightly later on. It's just about working out the form of the creature's head. I suspect later that the drawing will come together once I try and paint that glass helmet around its head, but for now I'm just trying to work on a lot of the tones and textures. The brain was a tricky one. I've tried to draw a brain, you know, a few times and been unsuccessful, but I think I've sort of blagged my way through this and tried to paint something that looks a bit like a brain, I suppose. But it's best to challenge yourself, you know, here and there, and, you know, try and draw things and paint things that you're not really sure about, just to learn, really. But I'm totally happy with the way it looks like a brain anyway, so that's that. Yeah, so I'm just using like a darker brown just to show a lot of the shadows on the shoulder pieces, and, you know, there's that like thing, it looks like a dial thing where you speak through or something like that, I can't remember. Yeah, so I'm darkening up the teeth there as well so I can highlight them later on and make them a bit more lighter. I still don't know by the end of it that I made them look lighter or things like that, but by the end of it I definitely do need to work on this drawing a bit more. Here I am, just lightening the eyeballs there, and also the teeth as well, like I said. A bit of white paint. It's slightly tricky trying to work out the colours, particularly later on, of the armour. I wanted it to be more like a turquoise type green, but it went for a darker green instead, but I can always work on it. Just trying, you know, doing little bits of the face there. I thought about like a purple sky, and, you know, like the bottom of it like more like yellowy, like type orange type of a sky. It sort of works, so that's why I did it. Sort of seen other drawings and stuff like that, pieces of artwork where the, you know, the sky was like this behind the Martian, and that, and, you know, that yellow could like symbolise like things on fire in the background or something like that. I don't know. It's just about working it out really and seeing what I could do. The thing about oil paints is you can blend them a lot better. You can with acrylics, but I think you can go back over oils and even the colour underneath, you can blend that back with new colours and stuff like that. Acrylics dry quite fast, and oils take a lot, longer to dry. I just like adding like shadows around the eyes just to make them stand out a bit more. So that other eye needs a bit more work, but I'll come back to it. So yeah, I've mixed black and white to make like a grey, because that collar piece is more like it looks like metal colours. So I'm trying to go for that, and eventually I'll go over them, the brown areas right in the centre, and even like near the jaw of the Martian, I'll be adding like a grey colour in there, so it'll separate that and help it stand out a bit more. Even like painting metal colours, it's quite difficult, but it's all about the experience of trying to work things out and things like that. Adding more greens now, green tones, just to darken things up and help to separate a lot of the lines and details and stuff like that. Painting a bit of red just around the gum line, just to help the teeth stand out a bit more as well. And so there I am, adding the green colour. I'm not entirely happy with the green colour that I added, but I'm sure like back in the old comics it sort of like was that green colour. I think the only reason like the turquoisey lighter green came about was because of the films, I think. I'm not too sure, but yeah, because I remember the comics one, they used to have like piping coming from the collar or something and going into the chest of the Martian. It was, I liked either design really, so I just went for this one. Yeah, not entirely happy with the green, but it needs a bit more work. Just that, like, I always add like the green and stuff to the face, and always working on the face a lot more than a lot of the other stuff. We're using like white spirit, so it like helps thin the paint more, and but it's the really smelly one, so it makes like the whole room like stink of white spirit. But I know you can get like odorless ones, but I don't know, I like the smell. So yeah, I mean, other artists would probably have other ways of working and stuff like that. I'm just painting the red eyes there right in the centre, that helps it stand out. Like I think it is best if I try and adopt the ways of other artists, just for the sort of ease of this process of painting really. Maybe like I block in all the main colours like I should have done, instead of working on bits here and bits there, and then concentrate on like shadows, midtones and highlights, and background probably separate, I don't know. It's just a way of trying to work out how to do these paintings a lot more, and just practicing really, challenging yourself. I think that's the main key to these pieces of artwork. So yeah, it has like earpieces on the ears as well, which I thought was a nice touch to add. Trying to highlight where the glass case is, that sort of brings it together really, I think. It's just something quite marvellous of a brain in a glass case. I don't know.
Can't really explain it, but it just helps sort of bring the painting together really. Still a few little mistakes I can spot, but I can correct them later, and you know, I'm beginning to understand that these oil paintings can't be done in just one day, like this was done. But you know, rather than one day, probably this painting might take a week or something like that of fiddling around, and you know, with the tones and shadows, highlights and things like that. But I guess that, you know, comes with experience. You know, the more I paint, probably the more I'll be able to paint faster, or I don't know. But then I don't know if it's about painting faster or it's just about enjoying the process, I think. Who knows? Yeah, so this was on the night, because I had the daylight lamp on. Yeah, trying to sort the brain out there and make some lighter tones in there with the pink, almost like skin tone oil paint that I had, and then add some like deeper red looking sort of swirls and that, trying to follow the underpainting that I did and just add some more little bits to it. Like I said, the brain, trying to draw the brain is quite challenging for some reason, so maybe I'll have to try and draw a brain in a YouTube video separately, who knows. Yeah, more shadows there, trying to separate them like little, don't know what to them little dangly bits at the side, don't know what to call them, and just add some more green tone details for the skin. I think I wanted to add some like lighter blue tones, I don't know, just to help I don't know, bring the sort of like tones of the greens down slightly, cool them off. I don't know if I can explain what I was on about them, but yeah. I'm quite happy with the way it's turning out. Like I said, I tried to mix a really good colour that was a good highlight for the arm a bit, you know, the shoulder pieces. I kept redoing it lighter and lighter, and I eventually got to something that I was happy with, but it took a bit longer. Constantly mixing in white with the blue colour that I mixed, like a bluey green, and just kept going back and forward. But I guess I've always wanted to paint one of these Mars Attacks Martians. Just totally forgot about them, actually, to be honest. I just saw a fantasy artist, Jeff Miracola, do a Mars Attacks painting. I was just inspired by it, so I just had to do it. It's one of them spare of the moment things. So, you know, it was way back 2013 that he published the video, but yeah, I just thought I had to have a go. I'm just adding grey over that like dial thing, whatever it is, and just gone over a few of the lines, so I'll have to repaint them circles there. Still needs a lot of work doing to it, trying to make these, and there's little lights there as well, like little red lights, if I remember. Just trying to add some little details there. Trying to add more grey, just to help make it look like it's metal. Some kind of metal collar casing for the helmet. tempted to brighten them teeth a bit more, but I think it needed to dry first before I could add more to it, so just left it. Just trying to add a few of the green blue that I mixed for the armour just to help thing, but that didn't even work, so I just mixed it in with some more green, and then just doing little fiddly bits here and there. So yeah, it's pretty much near the end.
And that's as far as I got tonight. It sort of looks like the Mars Attacks Martian. Still needs a long way to go. These paintings, I can never get them totally, finished in one day. That's why I think paintings, they're usually done over several days. I'm going to leave that there, today's vlog, only because I'm sweating. Stood over this sweating with this little daylight lamp on. Yeah, but I like I like drawing, the quick drawing that I did before of that, and then I like trying to paint it, trying to get the colours right. I think this suit needs to be, at the sides, the shoulder bits needs to be lighter. It's more of a lighter green, I think. Although in some of the comics it was practically that green anyway, but there we go. I've drawn I painted a suggestion of the glass helmet around the edge, there. Needs a bit more work to it though. The challenge was with the brain there, I couldn't really do the details in there. Not as good. I need to practice drawing brains, I think, and maybe painting them as well. But the idea from a distance looks like the Martian anyway, and yeah, it was good fun trying to paint that. Although I will one rainy day try and finish this and just see how it goes. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers now.